Okay, and we're underway. So I'm here with DJ Jeff Moyer, who I know from Neo in Chicago, no longer existing, but great place where I met my wife, and I believe Jeff met his wife as well.
Actually, I met her at Domo, but
Oh, okay.
but we spent a lot of time in Neo. So
yeah. So besides what I've just introduced, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
sure. I guess I've been I know I've been a DJ for 31 years now, I guess, and worked in many different clubs. We have the Neo DJ booth picture behind me, so that is probably where I spent the most of my time, DJing and hanging out. It wasn't. It was the second place I ever DJ'd at. Worked there for.
When was that?
That was
When you first started?
late '89 or '90, and I was probably there for. Oh man, I'm bad at how long it was, but I want to say about a year and a half maybe, and then moved on and came back, I believe, right around 2000-ish.
That was around when I started going there.
Yeah, but I was only doing
89, 90, and actually through 93, I was in a military station in Germany. And Wyoming after that. So
probably got some good music from Germany though.
Yes and no. I was there during techno days, so and the start of Rammstein and
right.
Anyway, so the thing that drives this whole series is that there's always DJs on Twitch playing music, and obviously some are doing it because they just really like doing it. Others are doing it because they lost their income and need to find some way to make some money. But either way, it's very clear that music is important. So the question I actually do always ask from my script is, what does music mean to you?
What does it mean to me? I mean, it's part of me, and I'm sure most people who have a strong attachment to music feel the same way. It's embedded in them. I've always just loved music, and I'm thankful that I've had this career where I can share it with other people, and hopefully they enjoy the way that I present it. And and I'm sure I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I like to.
Well, that's one of the things that comes up in a lot of these conversations is that there's, particularly with Twitch, is that it's really easy to find your niche within a niche.
Exactly.
So you don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, just a few, at least enough to keep the stream going.
Yeah, I'm happy with the numbers I get. I semi do it for the money. I mean, I obviously don't have a job right now, so yes, any money that I get is great. So, the more numbers you have, the higher the tips usually are. But I'm very happy with the core group that comes every time I'm on, and where would I be without them? I owe a lot to them.
Yeah. So far, what I've seen is that, there's, with most DJs, there is that core group that are always there. And then there's those of us like me that wander. And I do it because I feel the need to help. There's so many DJs that are out of work, and I'm fortunate enough to still have my job making the money I was making. And since I can't travel, I can't spend the money on that. I can spend it on pushing hype trains.
And you definitely push those hype trains.
Yeah.
And we love you for it.
Well, I mean, it's fun and it's worthwhile. So, and I wish you got more, the revenue share was better, but as I've said to other people, I think the emotes that people get from the gift subs then can get them more interested in going to the channel, and it works as an advertising tool. It's like, where'd you get that Al emote from? Oh yeah,
For me, thank you. I mean,
So-
I'm lucky that I have a nice relationship with Wax Tracks right now, and I'm hosting some of their emotes.
Mhm.
When they finally become an affiliate, hopefully this coming week,
Yeah.
I'll let them have them, and I will fill in something else. But I'm
So
very appreciative of them allowing me to have the Wax Tracks Moon, and I'm sure I've gotten subscribers because of it.
Yeah, but I'm sure whatever you're going to replace them with will be equally good.
Equally as silly. I've got the acid rocket on my hand.
Well, there one of the reasons that I initially worked to become an affiliate is because there were emotes I wanted to use and nobody had them.
And nobody has them, exactly.
So, and there's still ones that come up all the time. It's like, oh man, where's the emote for this? So
if they were a little more generous with
I know
giving us emotes, I could come up with 20 different things that
or more
deserve it.
generous with making partner. So you can get all those emotes.
That's true. Yes. I don't think that'll ever happen with me. I don't have the average viewers that it takes, but
yeah, it's not very common for people to get partners, although I'm noticing a few more here and there, but that's kind of how I thought this might turn out. In fact, I'm surprised at how many DJs are still around, because I kind of felt like it was going to you'd have this sort of coalescing around particular DJs, and others would give up because they didn't have enough people. But that doesn't seem to be happening. There seems to be more and more coming on all the time.
yeah, yes and no. I mean, I have a friend who was a DJ, and he started out on Twitch pretty much. I don't remember if he started before me or the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody who I worked with, and he had good numbers, but then he got bored with it and stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped back on, and now people have found different places to go. So he's trying, and hopefully he'll get some of those people back.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard if you shut your business down and then trying to get people to come back again.
Exactly.
Kind of like shutting Neo down and moving it to another location.
Mm-hmm. I wish I had something to say about that.
All right. Well, that's not on the right.
I guess nobody saw me do the. Now they did.
They did, yeah. No. So, what got you to get onto? I mean, what led you to going on to Twitch?
At first, I thought it was kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know what was going on, and I would check it out, and I'm like, "What's the attraction here?"
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jeff Payson got on pretty quick, and Late Bar started doing it, and they started a little before I decided that I was going to do it, and so they started out on Periscope, and I took their advice and I started on Periscope as well. I didn't know the difference between Twitch and Periscope, and a lot of people didn't know the difference. So I think Late Bar and I both stuck with Periscope for, I want to say, at least a month before I realized that I could stream on both. And there's certain things I do like about Periscope, and unfortunately they are shutting down in a couple months. But I still continually do both Twitch and Periscope, because Periscope does archive them and they don't mute any of the audio.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody needs to go back and they want to listen to any of my old shows, they just find me on Periscope and they can do it.
Same name?
And they're all there for me. And if I want to download them, I can download them.
Cool.
With full audio, which Twitch, as you know, will mute you.
Right.
So
that would be
yeah,
what?
I mean,
Periscope / DJ Jeff Moyer,
or DJ Jeff Moyer, Periscope.
Okay.
I guess when this airs, I'll put in the chat what the URL is.
Or maybe you already have that on the Twitch page. I don't know.
I don't think my Periscope's up.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's always something we can add in later.
Right.
So one of the things I like to talk about being an entrepreneurship professor is entrepreneurship. And I've been making the case to everybody that I interviewed that they are entrepreneurs, whether they think so or not, because you exhibit and do the things that entrepreneurs do, which is you create something, you work for yourself mostly, and you try things out, see what works, and keep it, right? I'm sure you've done plenty of experimenting with formats and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you on this. By your definition, I guess I've been an entrepreneur since I started DJing. So I've always worked for myself. And, yes, I've had residencies at clubs for long time periods, but yes, I guess I would be an entrepreneur for sure. So,
I mean, it's kind of, I guess, one of my missions to get people to realize that entrepreneurship is a lot more than just, starting an Amazon and, owning the world. It's about having some kind of passion and doing whatever you can do to make it happen. Right. So that's why I start with the question, what does music mean to you? And everybody's like, it means everything. It's your passion, right? And so that's just like any entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs don't start their business because they wanted to make money. It's because they were doing something they really liked and other people wanted it. So I know your wife is an entrepreneur.
She is.
So can you tell us how she got started with that?
I guess I can go back a little bit to the whole getting started with the Twitch thing, and then I'll kind of weave that in, if that's okay. So as we first started doing Twitch, I wasn't asking for tips. I didn't want money. She had a good job and we were okay. And I knew that a lot of people were hurting. They didn't have any income. But once you started doing your bills, you're like, oh man, how are we going to do this? And after a few months, it came down to that she lost her job. She was a manager at a retail store and the lease was up and they cut it. So we were both out of jobs at this point. So I think at that point I was already starting to take tips. I don't think I was doing the affiliate thing yet. And she had been making masks for us and for family. And she was pretty good at it. So once I think even before she lost her job, she opened up an Etsy shop, and she this summer she did really well.
Yeah.
Sold quite a few masks. When Debonair, one of the clubs in Chicago that I had been working at, they could not be open, but they actually opened up as a bodega, where they would sell things. They would sell packaged liquor and stuff, and my wife sold some masks through them.
Right.
And anything that she sold through them, she donated the money to the ACLU. This was during the summer when we were going through the whole Black Lives Matter and oh my God, now I'm a little nervous. So who was I can't remember the guy
George Floyd.
Yes. So it was all around that time that she decided that the money should go to the ACLU. So yes, my wife is an entrepreneur as well. Yep. And she still has that mask shop.
Yep. And that is the typical story. You're making something, people like it, you need some extra money, start selling it, and it kind of grows from there. Exactly. Hopefully it grows from there.
It grew. I mean, it slowed down quite a bit, but
yeah. So you mentioned ACLU and the Black Lives Matter movement, and we were talking a little bit earlier before we started recording here about the Palehead.
Yes.
Right. Yes. The Palehead video, which is that's one of those really powerful ones which you made. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I was asked to do the Wax Tracks Wednesday show, where once a month they would have a Wax Tracks DJ play on the Wax Tracks channel, and it was around the time of the George Floyd thing, and there are no Palehead videos, and I was like, I want to make a video for a Palehead song so I could play it on this broadcast, and I was going through all of them, and that was one of my favorite ones, and I kind of thought to myself, I think I can put this video together with people protesting against the man, basically, and that's kind of the way it evolved, and I've gotten people have enjoyed it and tell me that I did a good job, and I believe I did. So
yeah, no, it's the video and the music go together very well. It's very powerful, I think.
Yeah, through this whole, even before, I've been kind of making the transition to just playing videos because that's how Late Bar was. And 80s Night just lends itself to videos, but they're not always videos for all these songs. So, I do make my own occasionally for these, and the Palehead song definitely lent itself at that time, at that moment.
Right. Have you done any other, videos like that, particularly that have that sort of, maybe not protest, but social awareness or anything like that, or is it more?
No, I really have not.
Okay.
Have not found the time to.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I have. We had on a Tuesday night, and it might have been election night. I'm not sure. We had just a Fight the Power night, and I think I kind of threw some songs together and put some protest stuff over it.
Okay.
But nothing to that. That extent. No.
Yeah. So, well, I joked earlier that I've never asked anybody this question, And you said you could probably answer it. So, so, and I don't have to ask it the way I initially had, but like, what song or maybe album or band or whatever speaks to you right now?
Right now.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was
Not
just
this very moment, but
right. Oh, I thought I was going to answer that question with the pale head.
it could be that.
Yeah, I don't know like what band really speaks to me now. I mean, there's bands that I think are doing fantastic work right now.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, the latest Bootblacks album is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, does that speak to me in any way that meaningful way besides music? I don't know about that, but yeah. So maybe I can't answer your
Well,
question the way
that's
that that.
I wouldn't be able to either. And in fact, I think it was Poe who turned the question around on me, and asked me like,
Well, what about you, man? What about
what's your
you?
favorite song? And I'm like, I can't answer that.
Yeah, it changes. I mean, there's so
Yeah,
many bands that I love, and
yeah,
I will listen to them for months at a time, and then I won't listen to them for a year. You know.
yeah. Well, I've always had a top five that top five fluctuated a little bit, but it's been pretty relatively consistent. So that was my answer. It's like I don't have a song, but anytime any of these five bands are played, I'm happy.
Right.
So
Right. I mean, my tastes lately have just, it has to do with searching for videos too, that
mhm,
you see something and you're like, you know, the other day I was just listening to the Who for 2 days straight, just
yeah,
because, you know, I mean, I used to love the Who back in my youth. So, you know, I mean, I'll go and listen to whatever. It
yeah.
doesn't have to be things that I do on Twitch and DJ.
Well, I know you do a large variety of different shows on Twitch. You're not like, set in this box that this is what you do, right? You got your 80s, you got, all these other. Um, so I mean, I guess while we're here, can you tell us like the different types of shows that you do when you do them, all that?
Well, like as if Twitch needs another 80s show. I actually have started doing 80s on Sunday afternoons as well.
Okay,
There was nobody working the noon
there you go.
to 3 o'clock shift, and I was like, one day I was like, I'm bored, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people on my channel. And then Greg House goes on
Hmm.
at around 2 o'clock, and I always raid Greg. Greg is a good friend of mine.
Yep.
Like, here you go. Here's 60 people or whatever.
Right.
So, and on Thursday nights, as Neo was,
Hmm.
80s night. Just doing videos. I just do video. I'm not the most comfortable in front of the camera. I mean, here I could talk to you, but
Yeah.
like when I'm DJing, I don't feel like I'm really doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
I cue it up, you know, so I do beat match the videos sometimes. So I
Yeah.
guess I am kind of doing something, but for 3-4 minutes at a time, I'm just, you know. So do I need to be on camera for that? No.
Right.
Friday nights, I usually keep it in the more post-punk, industrial vein.
Hmm.
And I guess that's kind of been my Tuesdays of late. When I first started doing Tuesdays, we were doing featured band nights,
Mm.
you know, Depeche Mode
Oh,
and
right. Yeah, you're doing the
Cure.
verses thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then if it wasn't a huge band, we would do a versus, you know, Erasure versus Pet Shop Boys or
Right.
whatever, you
Yeah.
know. I think I was the first one to ever come up with that, right? I mean, and those are fun because you can sit back and watch all the videos, and some of the videos are really good, some are bad, and
Yeah.
but you get um,
that kind of gets you to bring out more than the staples.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for those nights, I would take concert footage and I would make a video for a Smith song that did not have a video, or a Cure song
Right.
that did not have a video.
Yeah.
So I did definitely build up my library this summer
Mhm.
by making those kind of videos. Uh, I mean, those, and I don't even know if I was on Twitch when we first started doing those, and we were getting huge numbers for Depeche Mode and Cure. Like we had over 1,000 views, not all at once, but
Right.
and and I think I was taking tips at that point, and I did pretty well.
Yeah.
But you can't do Depeche Mode every week. So
I think some people probably do.
there are some people that definitely do. Yes, yes. Let's milk it. I don't feel the need to milk it.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love the couple $100 in tips every week, but it's not.
So how do you balance the desire of what you want to play versus what people are requesting?
It's all what I want to play.
Oh, okay. Well,
don't come on my channel if you want to hear something. No, I do take requests, but like on my '80s show, I don't feel the need that I need to play Bizarre Love Triangle. I will play you a different New Order song, or Headhunter. Who needs to hear Headhunter again? There are plenty of shows out there that are playing that.
right.
I don't feel the need. I don't need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will occasionally, but you're not going to hear the hits from New Order every. And I try to keep it one song per night per band,
Oh, okay.
and it doesn't always stick.
Yeah.
The bigger band, sometimes it'll be 2 songs, but
Okay.
yeah, I try to. There are a lot of songs from the '80s, man. There you can
It was
easily
a whole decade.
you can easily fill 3 hours and not repeat a band.
Oh yeah.
And then my Tuesday and Friday nights is kind of stuff I've just been coming across this summer. I mean, I had a conversation with Jason Novak from Acumen, and who does Cold Waves, and I did I've done a couple streams for them, just doing little half-hour blocks.
Oh, right.
That they play. And I was just having a conversation with him, and he's like, how do you do it? How do you keep up with this? How do you? And I'm like, Jason, I'm telling you, this pandemic has actually been good for me as far as me finding new music, learning about new bands, because when you're stuck in a club environment, you are just playing club music,
Right.
and you have 50 people in the club, and they want to hear the same things. They want to hear the same things every week. On my Twitch channel, I could do what I want. I don't have to worry about. I'm hoping people are at home dancing. I really do. Yeah. But I don't feel the need to, see them on the dance floor, get them to the bar, having a drink, and then get them back out there.
Right.
You can, like this latest Actors song, go get a beer, or whatever you're drinking.
I was going to ask how that transition was from, kind of managing the dance floor to Twitch, where you don't really see how people are reacting other than chat, and you can't necessarily watch chat the whole time.
Yeah, it's hard keeping up with the chat sometimes. It depends how fast it's going. Like some nights you're like, I can't. But it's a different animal, that's for sure. And goes to my taste, I guess. I've been playing what I like, and the people who like what I like will find me,
Yep.
and the people who don't will, hey, there's somebody else right
There's
over there.
50 other
Just
ones
click on
out there
them.
streaming right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they all have their descriptions of what it is, and
Mhm.
oh, sounds interesting to me, and you go to it, and yeah, it's not for me, or hey, this guy's great, or this woman is great.
Yeah.
So it, I think it's awesome for everybody involved.
Yeah.
How long it's going to last, I don't know, but
Well, that's one of the things that, I've been thinking about, others, obviously are thinking about is, what's the scene going to be like, after this, right? I know some have already said that they are going to continue streaming when clubs reopen, either strictly streaming or a combination of streaming, or, stuff like that. So have you thought much about that yet? Or
I think that at least to start, we're going to have to do a hybrid of both. I
Mhm.
mean, who knows when I'm going to be back in a club again? Who knows if I'm ever going to go back in a club again? I don't know how long this is going to last. Do I really want to go work at a club right now? I do not. I do not. But when it is time, yes, I do believe that I will be DJing to a dance floor and have Twitch going at the same time.
Okay.
Um, See how that works out. I think that this is obviously it's not going to be. I don't want to say the new normal because it's not going to be the new normal. It's going to slowly die away. Not everybody's going to be sitting at home watching it 3 years from now, but it's a great distraction now,
Mhm.
especially since everybody's sitting at home.
Yeah. I do think that um, the clubs that survive, right? And we've lost a lot already. We'll keep losing more. But those that survive will now have found some additional revenue streams. So they'll be able to, I think, bounce back better
I hope
once they do
so.
get to open. I mean, this Twitch or whatever platform they're on or however they're doing things is definitely another revenue opportunity. I see opportunities with in the future of like VR and stuff like that, and clubs. And I speak as somebody who lives, in South Carolina, who wishes he was in Chicago, able to go to clubs. So to me, this pandemic has been great because I go clubbing every night.
Well, yeah, you definitely can hear what you want to,
Yeah,
the type of music you like anyway.
yeah. Um, and I think there if you look around and just ask where everybody's from, most people are not from a city where there are clubs like
Right.
this where they can go to. So those audiences are still going to be there. They're still going to want access to all this. So I think
Right.
there is definitely that opportunity to continue
Yeah.
in
I
some
mean,
format.
right. And you've got the merchant. You can do merchandise on your Twitch channel.
Right.
So that would be a great, late bar can sell late bar T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
If Neo ever opens, sell Neo T-shirts on
Right.
Twitch. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen or not, but we'll
Are there
see.
any rumors that you know of that you can share?
That I can share.
Yeah. I
Um,
won't put you on the spot there, but
it's been a long, slow process of looking and pulling back and looking and pulling back, and so I don't know how it looks after this pandemic. I have a
Mhm.
feeling that well, part of the problem was we could never find the right space. It costs a lot of money to open a club,
Mhm.
and the owners of Neo did not want to half-ass it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens when everything clears up.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of spaces because
Yep.
a lot of clubs are
Are
unfortunately
closed.
closing.
And that equipment is out there for sale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had just had a text conversation with the owner of Debonair yesterday, and I'm like, well, I hope this new bill that they introduced will help you out, get you through this. And he's like, I still don't know. I have no idea. I have
Yeah.
no clue. So, I mean, they haven't seen this money. They don't know what they're going to get out of it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't checked my bank. I don't know if I got my 600 or not. So,
I did actually on New Year's Day, I think it was.
I don't know that it's going to make or break me right now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not a fortune. But yeah, I wanted to kind of jump back to you talked about Debonair doing the bodega. Are they still doing that? Do you know?
No,
Okay.
they when they were allowed to open, they put out had a little patio out front on that tiny little sidewalk, and tried to make a go of it. And I don't think that they were very successful.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know that anybody's very successful with that.
Well, one of the reasons I ask is because I've used that as an example in classes and just in talking to people about how companies are pivoting. The ones that are surviving are finding ways to make money with whatever they have. And so that's, for me, that was an easy example to draw on. So I may have to revise that if
Well,
it maybe didn't work, but it must have done some good.
I mean, it has a lot to do with your location as well. Can you, with these restaurants in Chicago, you can't seat people inside, but you can have this huge tent out front, and people are putting up wooden walls. You might as well just have people in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because eating outside in these tents, and I'm not saying that you should be eating in a tent. I don't eat in a tent, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I want this gone before I'm going to go sit in a restaurant again.
Yeah. I'm not going to make changes.
Yeah, I'm very conservative as far as that goes.
Yeah. Same here. I've barely left the house.
Right.
In fact, I've only been in since March. I've only been into a couple of other buildings. Period.
Wow. I mean, I do the grocery shopping. I go to the post office with my wife's masks that get shipped out. But beyond that, we don't do anything.
Yep. So I kind of wanted to segue into the event you have coming up.
The event I have coming up.
Yes.
Let me see if I can switch the background. Right. There we go.
So
we see it.
Yeah.
Oh, here you can get half of it.
Day of the Dolly.
Dolly.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a week from Wednesday, January 13th, we are doing, I don't necessarily want to say it's a benefit for, it is a rally for Tina. A lot of people know Doll Baby Tina on Twitch. She has been my moderator. I think I was the first channel that she moderated for. I didn't really even know her at that point, and she's a friend of a friend, and she was watching my channel, and she's great. She's really great in the chat, and she just asked, "Who's your moderator?" I'm like, "Moderator? I need a moderator?" And I kind of was clicking around, and I'm like, "You're my moderator." And I jokingly made her the moderator for what I thought was that night.
Right.
And No, I made her my moderator for all time, and bless her, she's been there every single time I've streamed, unless something has come up, and I think that was only once. So anyway, she was a cancer survivor, and unfortunately, she's got a little rough road ahead of her again. So this was kind of a rally of her husband came up with this idea to have a day of her favorite DJ's stream. So you probably can't see the list, but it's a lot of Chicago DJs who are her favorites. And then we have David Banner from Germany, and we have Brad Rhodes, who is subculture post-punk. He's from the East Coast. I think he's in Connecticut or Rhode Island. I know he works in one and drives to the other or something like that.
What you could do is just cover your camera real quick, and then it will.
There it is. There it is.
So now we can see.
You can, if you are Facebook friends with me, it is on my Facebook. I am hosting the event. I will be putting it up on my DJ page as well. And I'm hoping that everybody else will share this graphic. It will start on all of the Twitch channels, and we will just raid through. It starts at 8 a.m. Chicago time with Subculture Post Punk. And then I'm after him, and then just keeps going. As you see, there's DJ Poe on there, was Portland, who you have already interviewed. Shock, he is in LA, I believe. And I believe everybody else is from Chicago. David Banner, Germany, I mentioned. So I'm back. I think she's a little prettier. Yes. So yes, it's just to keep her spirits up and show her that we love her, and she's an amazing person. And I think that if you are a Twitch regular, you have seen her severed head floating around quite a bit. That was something that I asked of most everybody on the list if they would do it. It was supposed to happen simultaneously, where everybody would have her emote. 12 different DJs or however many it was. But unfortunately, Twitch doesn't work that way. Some have instant uploads, some do not. It took me a day and a half to get mine up, while other people had theirs up right away. So anyway, that was another surprise to her, that once again, to keep her spirits up. And it's fun going into a chat and randomly just see her head floating across the screen. And she's amazing.
Here's a reminder. Take my medicine.
Take your medicine. Is that what it said?
Well, this is what happens when we're semi-live here.
Yeah, my kid was coming in the back door. Luckily, finger across the camera. Well, you probably wouldn't have seen it, but I'm like, get out of here. I told you to stay out.
Well, I've had a few cat incidents and stuff like that, so that's normal.
Like when I first started streaming, I just kind of set up on the dining room table, and we had gotten a kitten at the beginning of this, and man, she just loved to walk across my controller and step on the USB cord and unplug it. And so I switched to a different room. I'm in a different room now. So
I think I was.
There's my room.
And we occasionally see that, and it's a teeny little box in the corner.
once again, I'm not the most comfortable on camera, and like I'm just sitting here. Like, what do you need to see me do?
Right.
Wave to you. Oh, thank you for the subs and bits. And that's. I think that's enough, right? Every 15, 20 minutes.
You're doing videos, right? So
right.
if you're on the screen and we're not seeing the videos.
Right. I mean, Greg House does a good job. Greg Corner. If I could have a setup like Greg Corner's, I would. His green screen, and he's down here in the little corner, actually that corner, and and then he switches scenes. I love his setup, but I can't do that. I don't live in a loft like he does. I don't have the space. So,
Yeah.
no.
So we're coming up on the end, and the one other question that I always ask to conclude things is, what gives you hope?
What gives me hope? I'm not a pessimist. I'm more of a realist. That's my cop out of being a pessimist, I guess. But I don't know. I'm hoping that we're taping this on Tuesday. I hope everybody doesn't think this is live. We're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. That was a big joke with Jason Novak. Everybody was asking, is this live? Is this live? Yeah, it's live. So it's Tuesday, and they are voting in Georgia.
Right.
Please, let's get out from this nightmare. Please.
Yeah, we'll actually probably start seeing results here really soon.
Exactly. I have not tuned in yet, but
yeah.
I mean that's one thing I'm pinning my hopes on. Another thing I guess would be my kid. He's pure of heart. He's a wonderful kid, and this year when we asked him, what do you want for Christmas? I want a cure for COVID. That was his number one thing.
Wow.
Last year, what do you want for Christmas? Cure for cancer. I'm hoping that there are more kids like him. I don't know when he grows up if he's ever going to do anything about any of this stuff, but just the knowing that he thinks about it and wishes.
Yeah. I do see that more and more with students, as they're coming in, that the generation that's coming in now are much more socially minded, environmentally minded. They see the future, right, of their world, and what they're going to be inheriting.
Right. No, I mean, my kid is environmentally aware, and but can I get him to throw a can in the recycling instead of the garbage can? No. So it's an uphill battle.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, like I said, like you said, we're recording this Tuesday night. This is going to be airing Friday, leading up into your show. Can you tell us what we're going to expect
on Friday?
It's going to be a surprise.
I don't plan. I don't ever
That's
plan.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't really ever plan. Anytime and it was starting with Twitch. Like I would sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a playlist. I'm going to have 30 songs that they don't have to be in this order, but these are things I want to play. And I'm like, okay, I'll just put the first 5. By song 2, it's out the window.
Yeah.
So what's the point of me planning? I just it never works out that way.
That seems to be common. My interview at Zlaya the other day, that was a big thing he kept saying, is like nothing's planned. But he always says that on the shows. It's like they just go into the room and start playing music.
even when they're showcasing their new music and stuff. When I was watching the other night, they don't plan that.
No.
Huh?
So Zlaya does the Industrial Tuesday, and then like the cocktail Cocktail Twins on Friday, and that's more dancey, but then they mix it all up and it's like, and then they're drinking along the way, and so anything
Yeah.
goes by the end.
I keep forgetting to stay away from the whiskey because New Year's Eve was not smart on my
Oh
part.
yeah.
I'm too old. It takes me days to get over hangovers. But I'll have a couple beers while I'm DJing for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Enjoy it.
I do.
All right, so with that, I want to thank you for taking your time to speak with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm honored that you asked me to do this. I mean, we kind of put it off for a little while because of the whole Tina thing, because we wanted to get that straightened away. But
right,
much appreciated. Thank you.
Yep, and I hope I'm sure we'll see a lot of people throughout that day.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So we'll get that info to you, especially if you're watching Friday after this interview. So
well, I mean, during this interview, we'll probably have already posted it several times in the
right,
chat.
in the chat. Yes.
So this is all going to be old news to them, but I'm talking about it.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you. And I look forward to rating your channel in a minute.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
You do good work.
Thank you.